There we
So
go.
he's done
He's
an
done this
interview with
line?
you before.
And who do we have here?
My name's David Fitzpatrick.
Excellent. David, I'm going to ask some personal stuff. I really want you to sort of reach down and think about it, not just in terms of an answer, but more what you feel in your heart.
Right.
Why are you involved in this business?
Well, I'm involved in the business because Mike and I basically went to university together, and we talked about getting into a business together at some point, and this offered us an opportunity to do that. It's kind of unique. It was in those days that it allowed a couple of young guys to get into a business together. It's more difficult now because of the cost of brokerages, but back then we were able to do it.
And was this, and you got it, I'm just going to bring the mic volume down just a tiny bit. I don't think we're getting any distortion, but let me just do this while we're rolling. My fingers are too fat. There it is. My finger's broken, I guess. I'm not going there. There it is. There we go. Okay, great. We're still rolling. Now, I guess when you started, let's reflect back on when it started. And you're looking in on the situation because it was involved with his dad and all that. How did you, what were your thoughts when you looked at this, at the company from its culture? Sam?
Well, the company was tiny at that point. There was Mike and his mom and dad and sister, and I just saw it as a huge opportunity. I was working with Guardian Insurance Company at the time on a management training program, and they were a great company, but I really wanted to do something where Mike and I could dictate our own futures and build our own futures. And it created that opportunity, and so we grew it from basically Mike and I and a couple of others to what it is today, and it's just been a great ride.
So what makes your partnership work?
That's a great. Well, I think Mike and I have one of the best partnerships that I've ever.
Well, start again.
Sorry.
You can't move around so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, I think Mike and I have a really good partnership. We've been together now for close to 40 years. We've known each other for longer than that, and we always had an agreement that if we had a disagreement over a direction the company should go, that the status quo would remain. We never really had a lot of issues over the years where we didn't agree on the direction the company should go in. I've got a deep respect for Mike, and I think it's reciprocal. But it's just been a really, really fabulous time. And the great thing, too, is that over that whole period of time, Mike and I have been our own bosses. Nobody's basically dictated to us where we should go or how we should run the business or what we should do. We've been able to make those decisions ourselves. And I think that's, well, for me anyway, that's a huge part of why I wanted to get into it.
Excellent. Just one sec here. See if you moved a bit.
Very well.
Very well.
I probably was bobbing all over the place.
No, it's fine. I don't mind movement. It's fine. And now, in terms of actual beliefs, how do you share those values? You talk about your own beliefs together?
Oh, I think you have to lead from the front of the pack on that. Mike and I had known each other for years, and I think we both shared the same beliefs. We both believe in honesty and integrity in a deep way. And I think when you're in business, if you demonstrate that in your actions every day when you come into work, it filters through to everybody else that you're working with. People know pretty quickly these days if a company isn't acting with integrity and honorably. And we've never done that. We've always believed that the right thing to do is to do what's right for the client, to act honestly. If you've made a mistake, admit you've done that, and go forward from there.
So why do those values, as a client, why do I respect those values?
Well, I think you see those values come through in the service that you're getting and the way we respond to you. And people, like consumers, are intelligent. They're getting more and more sophisticated every day. And they know when people are trying to sell them a product that perhaps they don't need. We've never done that. So consumers know, I think, in their heart when they're being dealt with honestly and with integrity. That's what we've always tried to put forward.
So how do you take that culture to your team here?
Well, as I said before, I think you have to demonstrate it yourself in your own work habits every day when you come in.
Can I stop for a second?
Sure.
I have to take that you said before because I can't use that.
Okay.
So I know I'm being redundant, so
Yeah,
just.
okay, let me
try to-
me think it through for a minute. Basically, your core values demonstrate that, and our core values, we talk about do the right thing. When we put our core values together, we wanted to make them simple and understandable for everybody in the team here. And one of our first core values is do the right thing. And do the right thing means do the right thing for yourself and do the right thing for the client. So we have an expansion of a definition of what that means, and it basically explains to everybody in the team that you act with honesty and integrity when you're dealing with the clientele and with your other team members.
Have you found that these kind of values have resulted in people staying and working longer with you?
We've had tremendous success with people being with us for their whole careers. Brenda Ireland was one of our first hires when she was, how old was Brenda? She might have been 18 or 19 years old. She was working with Royal Insurance Company, who had an office in Victoria back in those days, and this was in the late 70s. And we phoned Brenda and offered her a job, and she came on board. She eventually became a partner in the company and just retired last year. So that's a pretty long 35-plus year career that Brenda had with us. And we have a lot of other people who've been with us over that period of time. I think we've created a culture here where people enjoy coming to work, enjoy the people that they work with, and enjoy the way that we deal with clientele.
If I'm a new employee and I'm 18 years old and you're sitting down with me and you're trying to tell me what the culture is or what the mission statement is, what would you say to me?
Well, our mission statement is basically clients, team, and community. So we focus on the clients, we focus on our team, and we focus on the community. I think with respect to young people, one thing that I really try to strive, and I know our human resources department does as well, is that you can build a career here. That this isn't just a stop way to something else in life. That if you want to, you can start in the auto department, for instance, and we'll bring you through to personal lines, and if you want through to commercial lines, and wherever you might want to go. We have a critical mass now that allows us to really give a lot of career opportunities to people who work here. And I think that's really important for people. It isn't just a job. I want it to be a career that's fulfilling, that empowers people.
A little bit of career stuff for us.
Excellent.
There you go.
There you go. Now let's just go a little bit farther. Now, there are a lot of challenges that you face in the period of this company growth. What were some of the challenges and subsequent successes?
Well, getting good people's always been a challenge. But we've attracted a lot of good people because we've hired people who are great, and they usually know other people who are great and interested in the industry, and we've brought them on board. And that word of mouth advertising, I call it, is really important. I'm trying to think of a major hiccup we've had over 40 years, and I honestly can't think of something that really knocked us for a loop. We've just continued to grow, continued to provide a great work environment for a great team of people.
That's nice. That's really nice identity. In terms of the size and the growth, you started from 3 and then you ended up at a certain number. I just want to get that. So how?
Well, don't quote me, but I think we have over 100 employees now. And
Can we do that? Mike said it's over 110 or something like
Yeah.
that, so you can be
do you want me
sure
to
of that.
you want me to
Say we have
reinforce
over
this?
100 now.
Okay.
Yeah, but we started at this and we ended up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, originally, like Mike's parents retired, so it was Mike and I. We hired Brenda, and we grew from there to now over 100 employees.
And do you carry the values all the way through that?
Totally. Absolutely.
I need you to say that. We still carry. I need you to say it like, and we see.
Yeah, and the values that we started with 3 of us are the same values that we have with the company today. We've carried them through for over 40 years.
Perfect. That'll cut perfectly.
Yeah.
Let's stop for a sec here.
Well, Mike's incredibly thorough. He doesn't believe in doing a job by half measure, and he's honest to the bone. And that's, again, he has a lot of integrity. He believes in doing the job properly. and he believes in, again, creating a great workplace for people.
I have something that I'd like to bring up briefly, and that is November, but just sort of the way that you have, it's all come through family, and as it grows and it's big, it's still a big part of it, and that your daughter is part of it.
Yeah.
And other family members as well, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the company has come full circle to some extent. When we first started, it was Mike and his parents, and then they retired, and Mike and I took over. And now the circle's being completed where Mike's daughter and my daughter both work in the firm. So it's a generational transition.
And what's it like to be working with your kids?
It's really neat. I never thought it would happen. Erin was actually working in New York in the fashion industry, and to have her come home and work here has been very rewarding.
And so this whole context of family it seems to even carry into the culture of who works for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to answer that. Yes, other than to say yes.
Yeah.
I think actually it was the full circle line was
I think that
gold.
covers that.
Okay.
No, that it's come full circle, and that's exactly what's, it started as a family business, turned around and it
Yeah.
grew to a family business,
Yeah.
different family. So I think that's awesome. So that's great.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I did want to ask one question about community. And it seems that, once again, brokers bring up this thing, it's important to be integral part of the community around you. And not only just from people here, but the people that, your clients.
Right.
What are the values of community that you see that you need to be involved?
Well, there are a lot of organizations in Victoria that obviously support the community. Organizations like the Cridge Center, like the Victoria Kool-Aid Society, Victoria Women in Need Society. I could go on and on. All of these people have been clients of ours for years and years. They do great work in helping Victoria become a better place to live. And we believe by supporting them, we make Victoria a better place to live. We make them a better nonprofit society. And we make Megson Fitzpatrick a better company because of it.